What's up, Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. A landslide has cut off a railway in Hualien County after heavy rains drenched Taiwan's east coast on Monday afternoon. Passengers on one train say they heard the sound of rocks striking the carriage roof as the train came to a stop. The Taiwan Railway Company says the ongoing rains are stopping crews from moving in to make repairs. Meanwhile, a series of earthquakes rocked Taiwan's east coast on Monday evening, with a noticeable shaking felt in Taipei in the north. The country is still recovering from a massive earthquake that hit Hualien on April 3rd. The head of Taiwan's state-owned electricity company says he'll stay in his role despite resigning over the weekend. Taipower President Wang Yaoting had resigned to take responsibility for a series of recent power outages reportedly caused by the massive earthquake in Hualien earlier this month. Wang went back on his decision after top government ministers and company board members asked him to stay on at the company. He says he'll remain until the incoming cabinet decides on the future of the role. Should Taiwan abolish the death penalty? The public says no. That's according to surveys which consistently show there's strong support for capital punishment. But is it constitutional? A group of death row inmates says it's not, and they're going to court to argue their case. Louise Watt reports.
In their small office in Taipei, activist Lin Xinyi sifts through some of the abusive letters her organization has received for its work campaigning for the end of the death penalty. While those who send abuse are a small minority, a majority of Taiwan's population does support the death penalty. Attitudes Lin has spent years trying to change.
作为一个现代的民主国家，台湾怎么还有可能容忍这样的制度在台湾继续的存在下去？
In her latest fight, Lin is supporting Taiwan's 37 death row inmates in a landmark case. They are to argue in court that the death penalty should be abolished. In recent years, the justices here at Taiwan's Constitutional Court have weighed in on some of the biggest rights issues facing Taiwanese society, including paving the way for the legalization of same-sex marriage. Now they're set to hear arguments that the death penalty is unconstitutional, based on the principles of right to life and human dignity. Successive governments in Taiwan have maintained the death penalty, including the ruling Democratic Progressive Party, whose party constitution once said it would gradually abolish the punishment. Under President Tsai Ing-wen, Taiwan has executed 2 people. That compares to 33 under the previous administration of Ma Ying-jeou, from the Kuomintang or KMT. KMT legislators say they're worried the court is going to abolish the death penalty.
我们要请问蔡英文总统，你所提名的大法官真的要跟台湾民意对着干吗？真的是要跟台湾民意对着干吗？如果今天超过8%，将近90%的台湾人是不同意废死。
With strong opposition to abolishing the death penalty, human rights activists are now hopeful, given that the debate has reached the Constitutional Court.
基于对于宪法的理解，他应该要做出决定，而不是要去思考说我做出来这个决定，人民会不会喜欢。
The court will have to give a judgment by September. Taiwan's use of capital punishment and the fate of the 36 men and 1 woman on death row are in their hands. Devon Tsai and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
The death of a reportedly overworked legal clerk has renewed calls for reform in Taiwan's legal system. A clerk in Miaoli District Court had been hospitalized several times and died from liver and kidney failure in February. His colleague said he was overworked and his office could not handle its overwhelming caseload. The clerk's death comes after the suspected suicide of a judge who was also reportedly overworked. Taiwan's judiciary has proposed reforms to address understaffing in the legal system. If you live in Taiwan and are experiencing thoughts about suicide, please call 1995 for help. Labor unions are accusing a major semiconductor equipment manufacturer of reassigning its workers to a different warehouse against their will. The workers say the transfer not only harms their interests, but may also be unlawful. Irene Lin reports.
Taiwan Calling for justice in front of the labor ministry in downtown Taipei. Unions and logistic workers from one of Taiwan's largest semiconductor equipment makers, Thales Manufacturing, are accusing the company of reassigning them to a distant warehouse without consulting the union.
尖峰时间来算，一趟大概我们就要多45分钟。那这样子上下班来回一天就要多1.5小时以上在交通上面。那很多同仁当初来泰洛斯工作，都是因为本身他就是在中立这边居住嘛。
The company is based in Taoyuan's Zhongli, but now wants the workers to go to the Dayuan warehouse, about 10 kilometers away. Employees say the transfer, scheduled to start in May, will disrupt their lives, and the company is not doing enough to make up for it.
公司它虽然有提出补偿方案，但是它的补偿方案是一天只给115元，有出勤才有，而且没有列入工资计算，3年之后就会取消。
Over 100 employees will be affected by the transfer. They say some of their colleagues had no choice but to seek opportunities elsewhere. Others who have not left say the company should offer benefits to help them decide their next move. And time is running out.
距离公司表定的这个签厂的时间，其实已经不剩几天了。好，那员工过去的话就要被记旷职，那我们认为这个是有问题的。
It's not just the unions that think the situation needs addressing. Responding to the protest, the Labor Ministry also says the company's abrupt order could violate labor laws.
事业单位调动劳工，原则上都要符合劳动基准法第10之1的调动规定。好，那这是最低的一个规定啊。如果今天调动劳工，也应该要考量对于他还有他家庭所产生的压力和负担。
Labor officials and the Taoyuan city government say they are closely watching the case and will help the two parties find a compromise. But the clock is ticking. In a week, the workers may have to report to the new workplace in Dayuan, far from home. Liang Lian and Nairing Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's capital is considering allowing foreign workers take jobs as city bus drivers. The review comes as Taipei's public bus fleet needs about 1/3 more workers to run at full capacity. The city has faced a shortage since the pandemic cut services, and remaining bus drivers face long working hours. Under current law, foreigners cannot work as drivers due to restrictions on professional licenses. Taipei's mayor says the city is looking to change those laws.
其实交通局都已经拟定了中长期的计划，也跟中央来反映。当然，我们同时也提高整个工作的待遇跟条件，好，希望能够尽快的让驾驶人力的缺口补足。
A rare type of seahorse has been found off Taiwan's South Coast for the first time. Our reporter Sandy Chi has the details.
This tiny fellow has been spotted in the waters of Xiaoliuqiu, a small island off Taiwan's southwest coast. And while it may seem like an ordinary seahorse, it's raised eyebrows among divers here.
它这一次是在小琉球首次被我们发现，我们寻找了很多年。
The species of Pygmy seahorse is tiny and well camouflaged, usually spotted among seagrass, soft corals, or sea fans around Green Island, all the way on the east side of Taiwan. Local divers say they spotted 2 of them off Xiaoliuqiu, and 1 was pregnant.
照顾卵，然后孵化成小海马的过程是由雄性来孵育。这一只海马其实是一只雄性的，然后目前它的腹部可以看到它明显的肿大哈，那其实是有一个育幼的一个过程。
Although only 2 were found around Xiaoliuqiu, divers here are hoping they continue to breed so they'll be here to stay. Ethan Chen and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we take you to Romania's Bucharest, where a flash mob circus troupe performed for these travelers in the capital city's airport. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.